What's going on, everybody? Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Today we have a DD13 cam housing. We're going to be replacing. Customer brought us the parts, which is fantastic. So I took the cam housing out already. Wanted to show you something on the timing tools, okay? Very important. This is a timing tool for a DD13, DD13, okay? They are not interchangeable with the DD15. I'm going to kind of show you a side by side, and then you can see for yourself the difference, okay? DD15, that's the part number for DD15. DD13, okay, that's the part number for DD13. I'm going to show you how they're not interchangeable. These are the hash marks where your cams are going to be timed, okay? To my knowledge, they're two different tools. So they kind of line up the same if you actually look at it. It's pretty interesting. I was told that they weren't, but that's okay, because you've got your holes that line up there in the top. You got your hash marks, okay? Here is the timing tool for a DD13. So if you're going to notice, same thing, they line up on the cam housing. You got to bolt them in. You're going to need these little bolts that are here. If I can find them, there we go. So we got these little bolts that you're going to need, okay? That's going to secure it to the housing. Now this is at the end. So once you've installed the actual cam housing with the new seal, you're going to set down your cams, okay? And they are going to need to be timed. So if you can see that there, look at the marks, okay? Got the mark there. Now I'm just going to kind of put this one right over. And I think, if I remember correctly, here we go. So that's more or less where it should be. You're going to notice, look at the difference. See, it's going to be just a hair. It's just offset. It's just a little bit. It's not by much, but it is just going to be enough that it's not going to give you the proper timing, to my knowledge. So they are two different tools, okay? Two different things. It's going to be off just a little bit, so you're going to need a different tool. Again, DD15, DD13, two different ones. So DD13, this is still going to be the same. So when you're setting this down over here on the far end, that's going to help confirm. Take a look. There we go. So this is going to confirm. So once you have your cams in, you're going to put this in to secure it. It's going to be just like that. So this will secure the front end, which is where the fan is. This is where your timing is over here, where your gears are, okay? Intake and exhaust. So keep that in mind. I'm going to also show you the process of how I do it once I actually get it in the truck. Right now, we're just cleaning everything out. I clean the top of the surface where the valve cover goes, cleaned out the little sides where the injector seals are going to go. Now I just got to flip it over and clean the underneath carriage, and we're going to get the new seal in and go from there, guys. So let's check this out. Everybody say hi to Chavo. Chavo, saluda. All right, guys. So let's get this set up and we'll go from there.
Okay guys, and this is probably the most difficult part. Again, just getting up there, be careful, watch your step, watch your footing. And what you're going to want to do is simply present the cam housing right over the top of the cylinder head. Now again, be careful, all you're going to do is drop it in and try to line it up as best you can. Watch your fingers because it is a little sharp on some of the edges, but once you kind of get it to where you want it, just go ahead and drop it in there, and then everything else should be pretty much straightforward. Again, watch the gasket. I do use a little bit of the gasket maker from Detroit just to kind of help seal things up and make a nice little mating surface with the seal and the actual housings. Okay, so hopefully that helps you guys out.
All right, guys. So remember, you have a dowel in the back or a guide. You also have one up here in the front. Keep that in mind. You're going to feel it drop in. Now when it's a new cam housing, it lines up perfect. Because this is an older one, obviously heat moves things around a little bit. Once it's in, you're going to feel it. Give it a little bit of love taps on the corners. Drop it in. That's it, okay? That's pretty much all you're going to need to do there. The next thing, sorry guys, I'm out of breath. Good Lord. Next thing I want to do really quick is I'm going to put these little bolts back here, these little hidden ones. They're 10mm 12 point. Make sure you install those first, because you can do it after, but it's going to be a little tricky because you're going to have your cam here and the gear is going to block your view. So if you can put these in first, again, there's only 2 of them. one on the left, one on the right. Once you do that, you're pretty much good as gold, in my opinion. So I'm gonna do those right now. We'll go from there. And then I'm gonna show you how to set the cams down. Before we do that, again, bolts, timing tool, cam, then we're gonna install the bridges, torque them all down, and then that's it. This video is gonna hopefully be short and sweet, and easy to go from there. So let's do it. Chavito. Alrighty guys, I should have been a little more prepared, but you get the idea, right? 10 mil, 12 point. I put a little bit of Loctite on there. You don't need to, but I just kind of do it. Literally, look at how easy, how much access you have there. Once you're done, you're gonna go ahead and tighten them down. Now, when you do the torque sequence, it is gonna be at 22 foot-pounds. So what I like to do typically is just simply snug them down. Once you do that, then you're good to go for the rest. Okay, you don't need to go too tight again. You're gonna feel it. I would probably stop there. Do the same thing on the right. Okay, that's pretty much going to be all set from there, guys. Now be careful, okay, because you have the gears back here. You're exposed, so don't drop a socket. Don't drop any of the bolts. Don't do any of that right now. Next thing I'm going to do is set up the timing tool. I'll show you guys a little close-up of that right now in a second. And I'll show you again the process that I do it. Everyone kind of has their own little style of it. You know, some guys like to put the tool up here. They pull the whole fucking cam housing out with the cams, and that way they're not messing with the exhaust brakes or anything like that. I'm sure you could do that as well, but like I said, I kind of like to do things a little different. All right, guys, we're back. So we have our timing tool, okay? Here we go. Got your little bolts. You're gonna need 13 mil or ½ inch or whatever it is. And we're gonna set our timing, okay? Pretty simple. Again, left and right. It should just line up nice and sweet, okay? Take your time. There's no rush. See? Literally should just line right up in there. Again, careful, don't drop anything in there. Sometimes if you want, put a rag there just in case to catch anything. It's a lot more difficult when you have a DD13 and a Cascadia that's the short nose. Everything is tucked in a hell of a lot more. So it's not always that fun. Anyway, so you have that. Here's your little tool. Just snug it down. You don't need to, tighten the shit out of it. All done there. Gonna move this off to the side. This I'm gonna use later. I don't need this right now. So I'm just gonna set it aside, out of the way. There we go. So now, before I install the cams, what I like to do is simply use a little bit of the assembly lube. There's different brands. I use the white one, Lubriplate, or whatever the hell, lube plate. Squirt, 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 put it on there. And then we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing on the top side, so check it out. All right, guys, here we go. So squirt, 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 all the way through, okay? You can be generous with it. Again, whatever works for you guys. I know Lucas has a really good assembly lube. This is what I use, guys, number 105. This one's been around for a long time. So anyway, we got that. Let's get the cams and I'll show you guys up close. I'll move the camera around so you can see that as well. All right, guys, so I took the liberty earlier of actually marking the gear, okay, because you're gonna look for that triangle. Some of the newer ones have a little hash mark on the plate. This is an older one, so it doesn't have it, so you have to look for that little triangle that's gonna be here on the back side and also on the front, so it kind of makes it hard. So what I like to do is just simply paint it. Now, I know this is an older style because the lobes are dual. It's got dual lobes on it. There you go. So I've got one lined up. I'm gonna show you a zoom up right now in a second, okay? And then we're gonna go ahead and lube it up and start putting in our little cams or bridges or caps or whatever the hell they wanna call it. That's it, okay, see? If you move it a little bit to the left, you might be off just a hair, and that's actually what this is for, to hold it in place while you're securing everything in place and torquing it all down. So this also is part of the today's lesson. So here we go. Let's do the exhaust now. All right, here we go. Oops, let's do the exhaust side. And what I like to do is simply drop in a little more the side closest to the fan, and then I work my way over to the one at the rear. Watch your fingers, guys. Ooh, look at that. On the money. Hell yeah. Take a look. I'm going to show you guys right now. All right, let's see. There we go. Lined up right there with the hash mark. Lined up right there with the hash mark, okay? So the next thing I want to do, same thing I did earlier. You know, lube it up, right? Give it a little bit of love. That way it's not completely dry. Do the same thing all the way down. And each bridge or each cap or whatever the hell you guys want to call it is numbered. So it'll be numbered 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then you're going to have front and you're going to have rear where the engine brakes are, okay, where the solenoids are. So we got that all done. Let's see what that picture is looking like. All right, not bad, pretty good, pretty good. Ready, Tony? ¿Cuál me vas a dar primero? 2 y 3. Okay. All right, guys, remember I told you guys, these are numbered. I don't know if the camera's gonna show this. This is number 2, this is number 3. You're gonna have the small lobe, which is gonna be the intake, and the large lobe, which is gonna be the exhaust side, okay? Keep that in mind. Just simply do that, okay? Right now, I'm simply gonna present them in there. I'm not gonna put the bolts in yet, so we're hang tight for that. Oh, one last thing. You can use this right now. It gets installed in the front like I showed you earlier in the video. And that just kind of holds everything in place. You can remove it later, okay? I just like to make sure everything's in there. We'll go from there, guys. Hold on, let me get this little wire out of the way. Okay, this could be number 4. This is gonna be front. So it actually says it right on there, front, okay? Kind of prevents any mix-ups or anything like that. We're gonna install the last ones right now, and then we're gonna put the bolts. I'm gonna show you guys the sequence on it. Go ahead, Chavito. Thank you, thank you. Here's number 5. Okay, now technically you could put 5 and 4, swap them or whatever but being that this is kind of already worked itself in, make sure you put them in the same order, okay? Oh, see, I almost got that one wrong. Again, larger exhaust. Timing's still good. Pásame la caja de los tornillos. Ahí va a estar ahí arriba. All right, guys, so everything is in right now. We're gonna go ahead and start securing it. Work your way down the center and then go left, right, left, right. So again, you're gonna have, starting in the center, tie that down, run it down. So again, we're gonna go by the torque, the sequence. I'll show you guys that in a second. Right now, I'm just gonna kind of get it all down, get it into place. I only use this to kind of run it down. Once I do that, I stop, and then I'll follow the torque sequence after. Now keep in mind, guys, the bolts, certain size. You're gonna have a larger and a smaller. Smaller is always gonna go down the center, okay? Center. And you'll see it too when you try to go ahead and line them up. So, shorty in the center. Run them with your fingers first, guys. You don't need to do any Loctite, just run it down with your fingers. This way you're not crossing any of the threads, okay? We're still gonna work on the little, small ones, the 10 mil, but those are gonna be last, literally last. Those I don't typically like too much because they only go into the bottom of the housing and they can get stripped. When you remove it, there's really not much you can do about it. It's really more of a factory thing than anything. Really a bad design.
Okay guys, so you get the idea of what I'm doing here. I'm just simply introducing the bolts. Again, you have the shorter bolts will go straight down the center, then you have the larger bolts which go on the outside. Again, I like to just run them down with my fingers, make sure I don't have anything that's binding or the threads that are catching or anything like that. All you're gonna do is just run them down with your fingers. After that, it's pretty easy. You're gonna see the next part of the video where I'm actually gonna use an electrical ratchet, a Milwaukee. You can use whatever you're comfortable with. I don't recommend any power tools at this point. Again, I'm just gonna go ahead and introduce everything, get everything to sit, set, and then go from there. That's it.
All right, guys, again, just give it a little love, bring it down, secure it.
All right, so this is definitely not the torque sequence. This is just simply me using a 13 mil socket, 12 point, and all I'm doing is just kind of sitting everything down, starting from the center and working my way, almost following the exact same pattern. Again, we're not doing anything heavy duty. We're not over torquing this thing. We're not gonna, torque the crap out of it. Just simply get everything to sit. We're gonna work our way on the right. Then again, you're gonna go top. You're going to go down to the bottom, and again, just work your way the same sequence you would. Again, just using the tool here to help speed things along. That's it.
First and then left, but that's all right. The torque sequence is actually the most important part. So we're just bringing this down, securing it. Oops. And that's pretty much it. So let me grab the torque. I'm going to show you guys the sequence, and that's it. This video is going to be pretty simple. Again, DD13, very, very similar to the DD15. The difference, of course, is going to be the timing tool, and that's pretty much it. So let me grab a few things. I'll be right back. Okay guys, we are back. So here we go. This is only going to be the torque sequence. I don't know if it shows it here. We're going to start off at 15 foot-pounds all the way across the board. Then the second part will be at 37 to 40 foot-pounds. So you're going to, whatever you're comfortable with, 37 or at 40, again, up to you. I like to kind of stick it at right around 38, right in the middle. I think 38 is a pretty good number. And then the final one, which is going to be the small little bolts that are here, okay, those are going to be little 10 mil, 12 point. That's going to be at 22. So start center, left, right, and then don't forget about the guys back here. Okay, those are also going to be there, and those are also going to be at 22 foot-pounds. Okay, that's it. There's nothing more to it. It's literally going to be the same as it would on a DD15 and a 16. So pretty cool. There's other differences in other places, but for now, for this is what we're doing, okay? 15, that's all we're gonna do. ¿Mande? Nomás tiene uno. Ahorita te lo paso, give me 1 second. GoPro, stop recording. All right, guys, sorry about that. Little interruption, that's okay. Okay, you're gonna do the same thing. Work your way left, right, left, right. The book actually says to work your way down the center first. So the center's all done at 15. Now we're going to work our way top, bottom, right, left, and keep going the same sequence, okay? Now, will it make a difference if you go different sequence? I don't know, but I like to work my way from the inside out, and I kind of like to follow what the book says. This way I keep it the same every time. I don't like to, try a different path. What if I forget something? Keep it the same. Makes it a lot easier for everybody. And if you can't do it and someone else is kind of picking up where you left off, they should know exactly where you are, and just makes it a lot easier, prevent any errors. Okay. So all done with the 13 and 15 foot-pounds, and now we're going to switch it up and we're going to go to 38. Again, if you want to go 40, go 40. There's nothing wrong with that. A 1 pound difference, I don't believe will make that much of a difference. Let's just go 40 for the sake of it. Okay.
All right, and from here it's pretty straightforward. You're going to start from the center. You're going to go from your right to your left, back to the right, back to the left, back to the right, back to the left. And again, it's at 37 foot-pounds to 40 foot-pounds, whatever you're comfortable with. I've done it at 38 or I've done it at 40 foot-pounds. Once you're done there, go back to the center, start at the top, go to the bottom, go to the right, go to the left, and then again, you're just going to continue the pattern all the way through until you've completely torqued everything down to what you feel comfortable with. And again, it's 37 foot-pounds to 40 foot-pounds, and that's it. It's very straightforward, very simple. Once your timing is all set, it should be just smooth sailing from there, guys. So again, follow the book, and you'll be good to go.
And that's pretty much it for that, guys. Pretty simple. Last thing you want to do is, again, these little bolts that are up here, 10 mil, 12 point, 22 foot-pounds. So again, start at the center. This one, be a little careful because the bolt will only go into the bottom of the housing. It doesn't actually go all the way through down towards the cylinder head. So sometimes they get stripped. So be careful. 22, if you want to err on the side of caution, I would probably go maybe 20, right around there, and kind of work your way up to 22, depending on how you're going to feel the threads. Sometimes it pulls the threads, and that's a whole different problem all in itself. So that's pretty much it for this, guys. All done. If you guys like the video, like I've asked before, give it a thumbs up, give it a like, subscribe. Appreciate you guys watching. Have a great day.